ladies and gentlemen, for the 1046th time, it is the Mason and Friends Show, featuring that man called the Black Manatee.
Yeah, I got a story about that.
As well as myself, L. Mahoney. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
What's happening, y'all? What's good out there today?
So, this isn't quite a Jew unit type car story.
Okay.
But it's in that vein.
All right.
Because I knew what had happened, but I wasn't 100% sure what had happened.
To your car?
To my car. So I was driving my RSX home. And this is, of course, like the Bluesmobile, or the, not the Bluesmobile, but the Ghostbusters ectoplasm vehicle, you know.
Gotcha.
With all the things that need work on, but I'm still happy with my deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I'm driving home the other day, the gas is low, and I'm like, I need to get gas, and I forget. So I get home.
Oh, you forgot to get gas?
Forgot to get gas. I get home.
Damn,
I come all the way home. I'm no indicator that I'm out of gas.
Okay.
But I'm out of gas.
Okay.
So I have all these things that I've been planning to do to the car here, there. I do this thing, I do that thing. I'm trying to conquer issues, right?
Yeah.
So the car likes to buck when I downshift, particularly into second. It's been an issue. I've conquered a lot of the violence of it, but it still randomly would do this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why it's doing this. I can't understand why it's doing this. So the car has 3 holes on 2 pedals. The brake pedal has 1 hole that touches a sensor.
Yeah.
And the clutch pedal has 2 holes that touch 2 sensors.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I know at least one of those isn't working because my cruise control isn't working, and I'm like, I think I probably need to start there to make sure all the holes are plugged properly and everything's good.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it at all. So I get a couple of these plugs that I know are going to fit in the hole, and I get home, I'm out of gas. I turn around upside down, I crawl underneath the seat on my back, I'm looking up at the pedals, I'm filling with things, I find the 3 holes. One of the holes is just empty on the clutch.
Okay.
Right? There's a sensor. It's not touching anything. I put the plug in. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. That's a good start. Then I look to the rest of them. The brake pedal has a sensor, and that sensor is held in with a zip strip. There's a zip strip where the plug should be on the hole on the brake pedal.
Oh, damn.
And there's a zip strip on the other hole where the plug should be on the other part of the clutch pedal. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
So you just been it's been rigged up to just run.
Like crazy. And the funny thing is, because the sensor was bad, so I'm like, let me get a new sensor for the brake pedal. So, you know, I get the sensor, I got all the 3 plugs I'm going to need. I'm like ready to rock.
Yeah.
I change them all out. It's really simple. It's one of the most difficult things to do is actually get the zip strips out.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're
already in there.
They're already in there, so I got to get in there with like a cutter and cut them out.
Some needle nose if you can get them down in there, because I know the hole ain't so big.
I had what you might call a dike, not like one that drives a Subaru, but like one that's got little beak cutters, right?
Yeah.
And so I used those to cut it. I got it all out. I filled it all in. I put all the stuff back together. I can't imagine how much harder it would have been to put in zip strips than to just do what I did.
Okay.
Right? So I put it all back together, and but the night before I was fooling with it and fooling with the zip strips, and I'm like, I don't know why this is here. This isn't working right.
Yeah.
The car didn't want to start, but it was acting funny. So I reached down and I adjusted the zip strip, and I got it to act right. And I'm like, okay, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I think I'm out of gas too, but let me go ahead and fix all this stuff. And sure enough, I was out of gas. So it wasn't like a big deal. I went and I got a gallon and a half of gas, came back.
Yeah.
Car turned right on. Everything's fine. But like, it's one of those things where like, I'm not even pissed, but our boy the Jew would have been he'd have been livid telling this.
Yeah.
If this happened to him, this story would be so
It would have been a whole animation,
upsetting.
yeah.
Because he wouldn't have known he was out of gas until like days. But like, I've had this happen before where I didn't know I was out of gas.
He knew he would have found out he was out of gas on the road. That's where it would have happened at with him. He would have never made it home. It would have been somewhere where he was in the middle of doing something.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, now I gotta do this. I had to run over here, I had to go over here and do all this shit.
Then I had to buy a gas
yell at the
can.
ass clown because they don't have no gas cans of what the fuck gas station.
Get to the Exxon.
How the fuck you don't have a gas can?
That's right.
For fucking gas at a goddamn gas station.
Yeah, that's exactly what would have happened.
That's exactly what would have happened with him. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I came right home. Didn't know I was out of gas until I tried to turn it back on, and it wouldn't start. And I was like, "This has got to be gas. I got to be out of gas."
Two things. First, you made it home. Second,
incredibly, the car drove right home like it was not out of gas at all.
That's what I'm saying. So they had enough fumes to get you home.
Yeah.
Then secondly, you got another vehicle to where you could have went and got the gas anyway. So that's also the plus side of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another thing. For having the Jew, he only got the truck is already down.
He was like, man, I had to put air in the tire, put oil in the engine.
He'd had to call fucking Slap. He had to call Slapnuts.
Yep.
And been mad at him because now I had to call the fucking boy to come get me, give me some gas.
I called the boy and I said, I need you to come get me.
That motherfucker gonna talk to me talking about, I need some money. I gotta give me some money and get you some gas.
I said, boy, you better bring your ass out here with a gas can full of gas, and I'll give you some motherfucking money when I get around to it after I whoop your motherfucking ass.
So, speaking of the Black Manatee, I wish I would have brought it with me because I completely fucking forgot it. Last week, the week before last, my daughter's birthday, right?
Okay.
She wanted to go to Earth Glaze and Fire. So
okay,
we go
that's
there.
where the pottery
where you paint the pottery or whatever, and then they glaze that shit for you, whatever.
Like you paint your own pottery and then they put the glaze on it that makes it last?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go there, right?
Do they spin it? Do you spin it too? And then they flame it up, or do they just have
No. They have pieces. They got a bunch of pieces already done.
You pick a piece and then you
pick a piece and you paint it, right?
And they got all the colors and all that shit.
Yeah, they give you this
full spectrum,
this panel, and you get up to 6 colors. Now you got a bunch of people. Everybody get all different colors. You get it was me, my daughter, and my wife. We're all at the table, so that's what 18 colors.
18 colors. You can can get busy with that.
So yeah, exactly. So my wife got this little mushroom house like the Smurfs lived in. She got one of those to paint. A little mushroom. My daughter got a little mushroom, and she got a big strawberry flower pot she wanted. I happened to get a fucking manatee that was there, and I painted the black fucking manatee, yo. I was like, yo.
Did you only paint it black, or has it got other colors?
I got the black with the speckles, like the like space black, you know what I mean? But the front of it is like the dark blue speckles, yo. And I was trying to do
So this has like flake in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was trying to do like a MB for Black Manatee, but I fucked it up. But I was trying to do like a symbol, like a superhero symbol for this motherfucker.
Bro, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I was yo. Because my wife was like, because I wanted to get the alien joint. I was going to either paint an alien or a dragon. And she goes, oh shit, baby, look. And I was like, bet. Yo, that's my joint. I'm painting this motherfucker right here.
You got to get that in like a glass case and put it on the shelf behind you or something. That is so amazing.
I was laughing my ass
You've got
off.
A black manatee.
Yeah, I got a Black Manatee now. Yeah, I got a Black Manatee, cosmic painted Black Manatee.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I laughed my ass off, yo, when I saw that bitch. I was like, yo, that shit turned out real. Because when you paint it, it don't look like what it's going to look like.
It's going to with that clear coat on there. That clear coat makes a big difference.
Like, they tell you put 3 coats of whatever you paint on. You got to put 3 coats on it, and then fucking da-da-da. So, I mean, I put my 3 coats of everything that I'm doing. And I'm like, this shit's supposed to have
I love you have a Black Manatee, man. That is so great.
So I'm like, it's supposed to have like these flakes. I'm like, well, I knew it has the chunks in the paint that I'm painting. I see the chunks that are in there, but I'm like, I can't see what it's gonna look like because, excuse me, when it's done, it's like a gray in this light blue color. So when I got the piece back, that just happened to fall out the bag, and I'm like, damn, that motherfucker turned out real good. We going back on vacation. We're gonna take the kids back up there because, man, like, that's the place where that lady was berating her daughter, you know what I mean? But like, we're gonna go back up there. Did I say that story on the last one that we did when I told you about we went up there? No, because I never said that. So when we went up there, this woman was up in there, man, and she was a bitch.
She was verbally abusing her daughter.
Yo, for no fucking reason though, bro. Like, the little girl, it's the mom, the little girl, and the grandma. We're almost done with our painting. They come in, and the little girl's like, "Oh, I want to paint this, and I want to paint this."
And she's like, "Bitch, shut your mouth."
And the mom is like, "No, you're not doing none of this. You're gonna get a piece, and you're gonna do this." And I'm like, I mean, the mom is just being a straight bitch, like straight up fucking bitch, bro. Like, she's like, "No, I told you we're gonna keep this simple. We're not doing complicated stuff. We're doing this to have you." All the little girl is picking
she's
stuff.
Like, "Can I paint the flower pink and purple?" And she's like, "Bitch, you're making this too complicated."
The little girl, all she's doing is picking a piece. Like, "Mama, want to paint this," and the mom's like, "I told you no. We are not doing." Like, the mom is just going off. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. This little girl's asking you questions and you being a bitch. Now Sarah goes, "Babe,
that's a stepmother."
She goes, "I'm about to say something." I was like, "Nah,
yeah, you better keep her checked.
We ain't getting involved in this shit." Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, we could stop this event right here from happening, but this little girl got to go home with this woman. So what could this woman do when the woman, she takes the girl home?
Yeah, you can't protect her from that. You
know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't expose that shit.
The fucking grandma ain't saying shit. The grandma's watching all this shit. Like, they pick the mom.
You don't think that's learned behavior? The grandma was sitting back like a proud parent.
The grandma
that's right. You can rate that daughter of yours.
So here's the crazy part.
Just like I did you little bitch.
So fucking the mom is like, "No, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get this." Now, I have you. People are looking at this shit now because I'm like, bitch. Everybody in here, we was all chill. The music was playing.
The vibe was nice. Everybody's
cool.
Shit.
Yeah, everybody painting this motherfucker. The radio's playing some old school shit, man.
People are chuckling. Groups are interacting.
Everybody having their own fucking little moments.
Like, oh, look at that. You got a little superhero manatee.
You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. I can't wait to see that when it's done.
So,
how long does it take from the time you finish painting it to the time you get it?
They told us it was going to take like 5 to 10 days, right? That shit literally just a week. 1 week, and they had all 2, 4, 5 pieces glazed and done. You know what I mean?
You got it back the next week.
Yeah, it didn't take long. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so,
all right.
It's a decent atmosphere up in that motherfucker. But outside this bitch that was being a bitch, so the bitch looks at her daughter because everybody's looking at her, right? The woman finally sees everybody.
She's like,
staring.
"Look at you, got us in trouble."
No, she tells the daughter, "Look at what you got. You got everybody in here staring at us because you're causing a scene." And Sarah looks at me and goes, "No, bitch, we looking at you because fucking you're causing the scene." The little girl ain't doing nothing but asking, "Can I paint this?" You know what I mean? So then the woman takes the girl outside.
Drags her out by her forearm.
She's outside and she's study berating her outside. Now the people outside, they're eating. Everybody outside is doing this number, looking back at this bitch going off on the little girl, right?
Oh man, dude, that's
so fucking. The grandma's up in there and she's getting the fucking pieces. She's just looking outside. She's getting the paint set up and all this shit. I'm like, bitch, why ain't you fucking saying something to this hoe?
Because that's how she raised her daughter.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a daughter and daughter. Grandmother,
so I was like,
mother.
What the fuck? So I'm looking outside.
She's like, "That's how my mama raised me."
The little girl
that's how you're supposed to raise
is outside, and she's like, she got her hands over her ears, and she's just shaking her head. She's just doing this number, just shaking her head, ain't listening. The mom is study going off people, and Layla's looking, and Layla goes, "Dad,
this is real life."
Yeah, Layla, because we're sitting at the front window. Layla's like, "Dad, look, all the people are staring at them, at her fussing at the daughter."
That who that lady voted for in the governor's race?
She was
Cunt to Gail Stallenberg.
Nah, she didn't vote for her. She looked like she's the SEALs lady. She's one of them. She rocks a red hat. This bitch definitely rocks a red hat.
I don't know, bro.
So
she sounds like a real bitch.
She comes back in, right? She comes back in. Now the woman comes back in. The daughter's still outside. The woman comes back in.
Sorry, y'all. My daughter will stop being a piece of shit.
She doesn't say shit. She knows. I'm assuming she knows the lady that works there because she called her by her name. She's like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" Da da da. I said, "What the fuck?" And my daughter goes, "Dad, she just hit this woman with some fake stuff." I said,
"Fake?
Yeah, baby. That's a narcissistic bitch right there. That's what that is. You know what I mean?
That's how people see your mama in public."
She's just like that. So the little girl comes back in, right? She grabs this piece.
The little girl who sounds like she's really almost a real sweetheart, but is going to be turned into a complete bitch.
Yeah.
By the time she's our age, she's going to be insufferable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's adorable right now.
Yeah. But the mom's going to fuck her whole life up. So the girl
I'm not even. You know what? I'm not even laughing. I'm laughing, otherwise I'm gonna cry. Because that's just horrific.
You can see what's happening here. Because that's what made me think, like, even if we say something to this woman and we stop this whole thing from happening.
Whatever you said, you'd either have to hit the tone completely perfect to the woman or it's complete lost cause.
Even if you did say something.
And your chances of being perfect for that lady is so infinitesimal, there's no reason to try. Because it's like literally 0.0001224.
Either the bitch is going to act like a bitch towards me, and then I'm gonna have to say some real fucked up shit to her, and she's gonna put on the white woman tears and be like, "This black guy fucking assaulting me," type shit, or she's gonna say fuck it, take her daughter home, and then do something to the little girl, like lock her in a cage in the basement for fucking a week, and that's your punishment because you made a scene that she didn't make. It was you that made the scene. So when the little girl comes back in, right, the mom get like some bullshit ass fucking, I don't know, it might have been a plate that she got, just something simple to paint. The grandma got like a little book in. The daughter gets this fucking giant fucking cat thing that, you know, I'm like, that is more complicated than the shit that she was already picking out. That you'd have said okay to now.
See? And that's because that little girl is smart and she's being a bitch back.
Oh, I guarantee you she was being a bitch back.
That's being a bitch back at that point. Because she was like, "Oh, can I get the little flower and paint it purple and with a little green stem?" And she's like, "Why are you making this so complicated?"
You get 6 fucking colors.
You can make a badass cat with 6 colors though, but you need some like bluish green for the eyes.
But like, I'm just like,
black.
The whole fucking situation was just blown out of proportion by the mom being a bitch. I'm like, that's a true fucking cunt right there.
Shoot.
That ain't nothing but that. If you look up cunt, that bitch gonna be right there. That is a true cunt right there. Then you come back in and try to be all fake and like nothing ever happened.
Like nothing happened, yeah.
We didn't all just see you berate this little fucking girl.
This adorable sweetheart of a child.
And that she's just trying to paint. So my thing was this.
It's been fully fucking defunct now. She's like a total mess.
But here's the thing.
She's a teenager. She's going to be an evil girl.
If you're taking your child to do something like this, expect it to take some fucking time. You're not going there to fucking hurry up, do something and leave. You're going there to sit, chill, have some kind of bonding fucking moment. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point of fucking doing some shit like that. Like, when you have a child and you go do these fucking activities, expect to be fucking there for a while. Expect the kid to be indecisive on what you gave a kid a thing to paint, that you could pick anything in this motherfucker to paint. A lot of fucking choices. You give a kid a plethora of fucking colors to pick from, and they can only pick 6. Fuck, bitch.
That's gonna take at least 20 minutes to make a good decision.
With that alone.
And why do you care as the parent what the child picks and how hard or complicated or not it is? Like, what is,
as long as they're having a good fucking time and doing their fucking things, you're having a moment.
But also, like, the more complicated it is, shouldn't that lead to interactions? Like, what do you think I should do here? Well, maybe you ought to do a little bit
conversation, shit like that. Nah, the mom was all about her. The mom just wanted this shit. I'm doing this. Basically, it's like, I'm doing this because I'm your mom and I'm doing this. I'm taking you here.
I brought you along.
Exactly.
You should be thankful to be hanging out with me.
Yes, that shit right there, man. That shit irked my fucking nerve, man.
You shut your silly mouth. You want to paint a flower purple.
That shit irked my fucking nerve so bad. I was like, this fucking cunt.
That is way too complicated.
And I was like, I told Layla, I said, baby, you gotta pay attention to motherfuckers like that you don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, don't even bother with shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that place sounds pretty fun, man. I feel like I want to come
like the
along
place is cool.
and make my own Black Manatee.
Like,
before I see yours, be like,
I shit
I'm gonna
you
make
not,
one
bruh.
too, because you know how superheroes got different outfits.
Yeah,
I'll have to come and cop a manatee, and make a Black Manatee myself.
Like they got music playing in the background. You know how we got music on here, right?
Right.
They got music playing in the back. It's not too
We're
loud.
trying to create a vibe, man.
And then you got like, so there's.
We're trying to make this place chill, man.
It's like 6 tables in the front, and then they got the tables in the back for like the bigger parties, and you know it's kind of like a partition that's there. So
sure, they've got a
parties
certain
in the
amount
back
of section
really aren't,
that they
you know,
try to use,
yeah,
for general walk-ins, and
Yeah.
then they have like a private section,
Yeah.
for bigger parties.
yeah, you know what I mean. So they kind of keep the bigger parties
Because
separated
that's
from
like
that.
a kid's birthday party thing.
Yeah. They had a
I mean,
birthday party
damn.
there when we was there. They had
So-
a birthday party in the back setting up.
That's crazy.
You know what
What's
I mean?
wrong with this? Like, this is why I don't go to places like that.
But then again,
Because that shit hurts my soul when I see people being like that to their kids.
To me, it was also
I'm like, I don't even want kids, and I'd rather be
Just-
the one taking care of that little bastard. Look at you,
people
treated
were being
like shit.
people
I'd
were
be
being
like-
assholes that day. Like, so we were uptown and
People like that give me more instance to be a parent than anything else.
like I was fitting to go off.
Do you want to put
on
the child up for adoption? I'll take it away from you right now.
I was fitting to go off on this one dude before we even got in the place because fucking Kid and Tab met us uptown and they had our nephew with them, right? So I'm
Right
like, all right,
on.
bet he was gonna come paint, right?
Sure.
So we were gonna have like 2 separate tables. Everybody's doing their own fucking thing, but they only had a table for one. But when we were uptown, we're all talking. We're on the sidewalk. We're talking, right? We're in front of the stores, but we're on the sidewalk, like right here by the road. So there's space on this side of us. You know what I mean? To keep on fucking walking. We made sure we're out of people's way. Well, Kid's nephew turned around and almost bumped into a guy. You know, this old fucking fucker, right? And, you know, he says sorry. You know what I mean?
Right.
The old dude's like, why don't you watch Rico? Like, and I'm like, I wish you would go to fuck off on him because I'm about to light you up, you ignorant old fuck. You know what I mean? And we made eye contact. I looked at the dude and he was about to say something and he looked at me and he put his hands down and shut the fuck up. Like, hey, yeah, I want you to say, please go off on this kid.
Please keep talking.
Because I'm ready. I'm in the mood already waking up. You know what I mean? I'm in the mood to light your stupid ass up. And fucking Sarah goes to Kid and was like, hey, look, you gotta remember, we in Fauquier County. We up here with these yahoos. I'm like, fuck them yahoos. They can kiss my dick.
Yahoos are everywhere, man.
You know what I mean?
People
Like,
are assholes everywhere. It's not like it's exclusive to some area these days.
but
everybody's
so
an asshole.
We're in there, right? And as we're in there, we're painting because they didn't have enough tables for Kid and them, so they ended up leaving. As we're painting, I look up and I see the old fucker walking right back down the sidewalk, just grumpy,
Just
as
looking
fuck.
for trouble.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, this one of them assholes are just pissed off. He's woke up and he's mad today, just to be mad. Like,
Yeah, and they go out
Like,
and they
there's
take it
no-
out on other people.
Yeah, it's like-
They're the kind of people that drive 55 in a 65 in the left lane.
yeah, yes, just to piss other people
Yeah,
off.
I see you back there, but I'm not going anywhere.
No, I'm not moving. You can go around me. I'm driving. You can go
Like,
around
when
me.
you catch me at 70 in a 55 and you ride my ass and I don't get out of your way, that's because fuck you. But when I'm going 50 in a 65
Yeah,
and I'm going slow, that's because I'm saying fuck you.
yeah. But I'm like,
I don't even know you when I'm saying fuck you.
the crazy part is, you see more and more people doing stupid shit like it. Like me and this other guy the other day, we were talking about how you got these ignorant people. Like he said something about, oh, what the fuck was it? It was something about drivers in Northern Virginia. And I said, bruh, they gotta be some of the worst motherfucking drivers on the planet right now.
It's the region.
Yeah.
Totally the region. It's more than
Because
just the Virginia.
I
It's the
said-
DMV.
Yeah, that DMV circle, that area right
Yeah.
there, has the worst
That
drivers
50,
in it.
60, 70 miles around the capital.
And I said, but the further south you go, motherfuckers drive like they got sense. You go west, east, they got sense. Like,
That's right.
You see motherfuckers driving in the right lane, the left lane wide open. You pass a motherfucker, you get back over.
Right.
Everybody
And
keeps
you
on
find the
moving.
next one and you move
And
around
you keep
them.
on, and it's just smooth as can fucking be. But you go out Northern Virginia, it's all fucked up, and he starts laughing.
Just these clown shows coming out here, out this road, come to this house. out here from Warrenton.
Yeah.
Like they fucking
Stayed
all
right
in
in
the
the
left-hand
left,
lane,
yeah.
just fucking cruising. You fucking dickwad.
Like this motherfucker, he starts laughing, right? He goes, you know what's funny you say that? Because he said just this morning, he said I was on my way to Alexandria and I'm leaving out and I'm on 29 and I'm going to Gainesville and the whole left lane full of traffic, just everybody's in one lane. He said the right lane had to be wide open for at least 2-3 miles. There was nobody there.
Yep.
He's like, I just got over in the right lane and just drove past everybody. He goes, I'm not even speeding. He goes, I'm cruising. He's like, I'm doing probably under the speed limit at this time.
The willingness to change lanes in simply a 2-lane session is so much going to help you better than the way people they just get in the left lane and they just fucking...
They're literally sheep. They are literally following the leader.
Well, and it's like They'll drive 10 miles in the left-hand lane because they're going to take a left-handed turn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you stay in the right-hand lane until you're maybe a mile or two?
A mile out, I get that.
Half mile, you know?
So between
mile and a half to a half mile is when you need to be
getting over. Yeah, because that's when the traffic's really going to start getting fucked on that side for you to make that left. Outside of that, man, just keep fucking riding,
Get in the right and chill like you're doing. Do what you're doing in the other lane. There's only 2.
Here's the other thing that be getting me. And I hate doing this shit in the truck. Like when I'm in my truck and I know I gotta get over, I see I got space. But as soon as I hit that signal,
somebody speeds up.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bruh? Like,
yeah.
I just need to get over right quick. Now I gotta slow down.
Yep. They throw your whole weight out of balance.
Now the motherfucker behind me is like, well, fuck, let me get over too. Bitch, just let me get... I'm about to be out of everybody's way.
You know what I do when that happens? I usually hit the other turn signal. Like, I'm like, get over so I can get your spot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, are you looking at me? Because I'm looking at you. Get over.
Yeah.
You know, I'll put on my left signal and put my tires halfway.
Yeah.
I get halfway and start coming.
I start doing that, the motherfuckers still, they want to ride up on that side.
Dirtbags.
And now because I'm in a vehicle that has cameras in it,
you can't be acting a fool.
It's not even acting a fool. I can't even do that move to where, like, I'm going to act like I'm getting over.
And then put on your signal when you got it.
You know what I'm saying? I have to have that signal on to make, because if I start swerving, they're like, oh, what is it called? The camera will tell you, mind your lane, because it thinks you're swerving.
Yeah, it's got all that shit that they...
And then as you're going over, if a car all of a sudden starts to speed up and you got to pull back, it'll say the same thing. It'll beep again. And all that shit gets sent to somebody else so they can see what's going on, to whether or not to say, oh, you're driving right or not.
They probably see that.
Oh, they do. They do. Because the guy told us that the guy that does the camera shit, he done opened up everything, so the camera's gonna talk to you more for all kinds of shit. He just wants to see what it all picks up. And I'm like, how long have y'all had this system? Because what you're saying right now doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? But I ain't saying nothing. I'm just like, I'm listening to what he's saying, but it doesn't make sense. You got the guy, he done opened up everything that this camera can do just to see what it's going to say and what it's going to pick up on. To see what y'all going to keep on. To be like, all right, you guys need to work on this, because we got meetings like every fucking month. If you do something that accumulates points, you got to be on these calls that last fucking an hour and some change for fucking really something that's just simple enough to be like, hey man, just do this.
Yeah.
But it turns to these long speeches. What do you think you can do? I'm like, come on, man. Like, for real? Like, I got work I'm trying to get done. And y'all want to do this shit here? Like, I understand the safety
And then
part.
they're like, hey, buddy, you're an hour and a half behind. As soon as the hour and a half meeting's over, they're like, hey, at this point in the day, you're already an hour and a half behind, so see if you can't pick it up.
But be safe about it.
Be safe about it.
Be safe about it.
Hurry up and be safe.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, man.
Bill's got to get paid some kind of way. Hey, did you see that video I sent you on Instagram about the dude getting hit by the bison? This motherfucker got launched, yo.
I think I've seen it before.
Him and his, I guess it looked like it might be a granddaughter maybe. And
you say it's on the gram?
Yeah, on the group gram. And you see them, they stop to take pictures of us. Now, Heavy, the fucking bison goes after the fucking truck that drove in front of it. You know what I mean? The damn thing chases him around the tree, and he was doing good until he stopped.
Yeah, you can't stop.
He ran around the tree. Now he's on the other side of the tree, looking at the bison through the other end.
All right, hold on. I want to watch. Is there good sound with it?
I don't know. I didn't have the sound on when I saw it.
The wild moment at Yellowstone. Let's see if.
Because I don't know if there's anybody yelling. I'm like, no, don't do it.
I don't think there's any sound. The one where the bison's laying down.
Yeah.
And you see the guy with the beard, the binoculars.
And the little girl with
He's
him.
with the girl with the red shorts or whatever and the green shirt.
Yeah.
So the bison's really rolling. And the funny thing is, whoever's got the camera on this is pretty much in the same boat. Like, the bison could have turned around now. So the bison's caught wind of this dude.
Yeah.
And he's on his ass. Oh, buddy. This is not going to go good.
Nah, it don't go good.
So this old man is running around the tree.
Yeah, see, he gets to the other side of the tree. He was good if he just walked away from the tree, but he stood there.
Yeah, he should have ran away from the tree.
He should have kept running.
He should have put more distance between.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And now the thing's gone around again, but now he's got him. He's got him locked. Oh!
Yeah.
Ooh, did that man survive that?
They say he got injured real bad.
Seriously injured, thrown 8 feet into the air.
Yeah.
He did like a full upside down somersault.
Yeah.
Cartwheel.
That old motherfucker, he had to break something.
Yeah, no, that was a bad idea, buddy.
Hold on, I'm sending you something else. I just saw this.
This is fucking hysterical, man.
There's some Russian dude on the machine gun that fucking gets...
these people?
Ain't holding on tight enough. He ain't have that shit locked in.
Oh, wow. So the thing spins.
Yeah, he ain't have it locked. But that motherfucker way he went with it.
Wow.
Yeah, but that old dude, I'm like, man, these motherfuckers with these goddamn wild animals. Like, I don't understand it. I really don't. You see enough shit to know a wild animal is a wild fucking animal.
Yeah.
But yet, motherfuckers will go up to it and be like, or want to take a picture.
Yeah.
You know,
but this
want to get that selfie.
Mike, this is natural selection finding its way.
Honestly,
it's worming
you're
its
right.
way into the system.
You are right.
Like, that dude, that grandchild there, that daughter, whatever she was compared to that old dude. That daughter,
she didn't stick around. She wasn't running around the tree.
That daughter,
she went the other way.
Will forever be like, I told you to come with me.
Yeah.
Or forever be like, I have to train my children
not to do what Granddad did. Don't do what Papa did.
Don't be like your Pop because he's lucky he ever lived to the point.
Because he definitely got Pop.
Yeah. Whatever he did, he broke his brain long ago.
Yeah.
And I saw a bison knock him through the air.
Because, like, that woman last year, no, that was this year, that got fucking mauled by the snow leopard because she was trying to get a selfie with that fucker.
Yeah.
Like, okay, come on now.
Oh, shit, you got the Turtles van going on.
Yo, yeah, the party van, man, that joint looked tight. I was like, man, yeah, that joint, I was hoping they would open up the side door. You know what I mean? And it'd be like how it had on the on the actual toy.
That's crazy.
Because you see, they got the painted missiles on the mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I want that kind of van or a flat nose old school to actually make a mystery machine out of.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That would be cool, but this definitely is pretty cool too. It's a little bit much though, with like the stickers in the windows and all that shit.
Yeah,
I can't. They
really didn't need all that, but it still would be tight. Like I would have liked to see that fucking side door open up, like, you know how they had to come out like that instead of slide open. That would have been cool. But yeah, it's like you see more and more shit, man, nowadays. More people are going out here, like what's the shit they had people at Yellowstone getting burnt by the water and shit because they're I guess I don't know if they're trying to get samples or they're touching the fucking water
coming out of the geysers.
Not the. It's some kind of pool. Like there's like a pool of water or something like right there, or whatever. Like I mean, you're not supposed to go near it. You know,
like they've got like the hot water.
Something
pools.
like that, yeah, something like that. And people are like, "Oh, let me see how hot it is." And I'm like, and I be sitting there hearing your voice going, "That's
this
that
is natural selection,
yeah.
dog." Like I heard some shit on the thing, something today. They were talking about. Apparently, there's like these stress toys that the kids go all about. They squeeze
the
and whatever.
the squishies or whatever.
Well, some kid had one in the hot car, squeezed it when he pulled it out the car, and it burst all over his arm and fucked him all up. And there's like a TikTok trend to like put them on the microwave and then squeeze them and burst all over themselves and shit. Yeah. This is natural selection, dog. That's why you gotta like not let your kids get into this kind of dumb shit.
It makes no sense. I'm like, I remember growing up, and I remember the one thing they always told us was like, don't play with the electrical socket. You remember that?
Did I ever tell you about the time they blew up the circuit at the school?
No.
I'm in 3rd grade, and there's the electric plug on the wall.
Yeah.
And we're sitting around, there's maybe 12 of us, 15 of us, all on the floor, Indian style.
Yeah.
Teacher's reading a book, reading us a story or whatever. And I was at one point next to the electrical outlet, and one of my buddies was like, "Hey, put this in the electrical outlet." And it was just a wire.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, I'm not going to do that." And I moved away. I actually was like, I'm not going to be anywhere a part of this.
Yeah.
I got clear of it. So, because I guess I was interested in the story or something.
Yeah.
Nah, leave me alone, bro. And so I knew the kids. I don't remember their names, but they had a piece of wire on with a piece of tape holding it.
Okay.
So they literally had like a tape flag that was coming off of this wire.
Okay.
And they were holding it by that.
Okay, so they're holding it by the tape.
Holding it by the tape.
Okay.
And, it's just literally a piece of regular ass, clear, cheap school tape.
Okay.
Yeah,
the little scotch tape.
Just a little scotch tape that you would use on your Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And it's that long. It's a little over a half. It's not even an inch.
Yeah.
There's not even an inch of piece of tape there holding this like sprawl of wires. There's like 6, 7, 8 pretty fine wires.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 inches, 2 inches. Not much. Just a little bit of wire. And apparently, because I remember the one kid said, "I'll do it." And he stuck it into one hole and nothing happened.
Okay. He stuck it in the ground part.
It wasn't the ground. He stuck it in one of the two.
Oh, okay, and 2 prongs. Okay.
And nothing happened. And he looked at the other kid, and the kid was like, "Try the other one." And he stuck it in that. Now, at this point, I'm watching the story, and to my left is where this is happening. Is where the electrical socket is.
Yeah.
And there was a character in Mega Man at one point that was like Electro Dude or whatever, and he would throw these charges at you.
Yeah.
And the way they were shaped, and I saw that in my peripheral vision. It was literally one of those things, and it was bigger than a softball. It was probably like a volleyball size spark.
Yeah.
And like the kid that did it like jumped back, and nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
But the entire school's power went out.
God damn, he done blew the whole circuit.
He blew the whole joint. The whole school. Like we're talking like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
In that school, I think.
Yeah.
There were at least 3 different grades. Probably 1,000 kids, maybe. I don't know. But we blew the whole joint out. And they were like, and of course, like, these are my friends, so I'm like targeted as well in the investigation.
You guilty by association.
Like, bro, I saw them fucking around with it, and I moved away. I literally extricated myself.
I wasn't there with him.
Nope, you guys are going
part of this.
Too far. You're going too far, guys. That's too far.
Oh man, but that's one of the things. When we were little, don't fucking talk to strangers.
Because somebody
and don't stick nothing in the electric
somebody
socket.
said that's not the way that's supposed to work. I said, yeah, it was clearly wired wrong.
Yeah.
Somebody wired the system wrong, and this kid fucking pow.
Hey, but that's one of the things we learned. But now it's so much shit. It's like common sense has left the entire fucking conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You got the Tide Pod motherfuckers.
It's listening too, though. People just don't listen.
Listen, comprehend, critical thinking, all the above.
Well, that's the thing where it's like the focus on like the long haul or whatever, like not the next thing. Like, yeah, like I scroll too much too. I like it fucking wastes parts of my life too. But a lot of the times I'm thinking about other shit. I get something planned and I do something or I figure something out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not all the time that I'm spent on my phone am I wasting.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is wasted.
That's true. Like,
and it's hard to make like the productive stuff outweigh the unproductive stuff.
Yeah. That's always a challenge. Like, that's kind of similar shit that I go through now. Like, that's kind of where the book reading has really helped me out with.
Yeah. I need to pick up. I need to pick up books.
I just started diving into all my books. It was like, let me just, I got all these books. Let me just read all these motherfuckers. Reread some of these motherfuckers.
Well, like you were talking about something on one of your Instagrams about books and what to read together, and you were like talking about the Marxist book that Karl Marx wrote. And reading
the
that
Communist Manifesto along with 84 or Animal Farm.
And
you know what I mean?
Both of those would be great.
Both of those go if you pair them together, because the Communist Manifesto basically sets out and says, look, you are given the tools to fight your government when it comes to all this bullshit with the capitalism and all that. They give you the tools. The thing is, you don't know how to organize those tools to use it. And then on top of that, even if you do use it, because this is what got me with it, was like,
it still doesn't work.
Yeah, he's like, you can do this.
You can't overcome the greed of man.
That's exactly what it basically lays out.
And
like
capitalism, if you at least stick to basic capitalism, there's sort of an oligarch or a what's the thing where how good you are, meritocracy.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a meritocracy there.
And see,
it's just when it's the crony capitalism where we bail you out because you're our buddy. Hostess Cupcakes goes up, belly up, but General Motors and Chrysler get bailed out. And then Chrysler gets forced to be purchased by a foreign company.
Yeah.
Like,
and see, it breaks all that shit down in a way that's like,
we shouldn't have gave them any money, and then they'd have got sold to somebody, and there'd still be some Corvettes would still be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody would have bought the proprietary rights to Corvettes the same way somebody bought the proprietary right to Twinkies and Ho-Hos, whatever the fuck else Hostess Cupcakes had when they purchased a Hostess Cupcake brand.
Yeah.
And they could have done the same thing with Coca-Cola or whatever the fuck goes out of business.
Now you got a lot of these brands now, they're like, nobody wants to fuck with us because our shit doesn't taste like it used to. Or
that's why we drink Mexican Coke and not motherfucking...
Yeah, because they're like...
Because this is the real thing. Brought to you by Mexico.
Because fucking... Like, when I was reading the manifesto and I'm like... And it's how it's laying the shit out there, like, look, even if you did, there is always going to be the system of class. Class always fucks up shit some kind of way, because those that have are always going to be pissing on those that don't have.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless what system gets in place. Then they're like, the other thing you got to think about is, if you have, who would you have be in the position to lead? Because people don't trust other people to do shit. There's always going to be a struggle here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you take all the money out of the shit and you can distribute that money equally across the board, you still gonna have somebody that is gonna say either I want more or I don't have as much as this motherfucker, and that's always gonna cause a problem. So it's like, how do you find this balance to make it work? Because those that are in power are controlled by more money and not actually for the people. And I'm like, that's what we argue all the time.
Yeah.
How do you make something like that happen? And then when you go read, Animal Farm, basic fucking book. And how fucking they took over the farm. All right, we got rid of the motherfucker that's oppressing us, but now you got the pigs that had learned.
And it's based on the Bolshevik Revolution.
Exactly. Yeah. And, and it's like, what do you do now? Because now...
And what happens, you end up with, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than other animals.
Yeah.
And that's, that's
and they
basic
change the shit up from what it said this before, but now no, we're going to change it to now it says this.
And all of that stuff that's being talked about of those books from back then that everyone that's brainwashed these days wants to think couldn't happen now, are completely ignorant of the fact that it's happening now.
Yeah.
And it's been happening now. And it happens through Democrat and Republican administrations.
It happens through all
peoples
of them.
That you like, through peoples that you don't like. It doesn't matter. They all
because
suck.
they all are controlled controlled by the fucking money. Everybody is controlled by the fucking money. Ted DiBiase said it. Everybody's man has got a price. And these motherfuckers know the price of these people that they put in these offices.
And then he said, money, 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 money,
and they
money.
hit you with that laugh. You know what I mean? But it's true. All these motherfuckers go up in there like, people are like, oh, why aren't the Democrats saying nothing about all the shit going on? Because the Democrats agree with what's happening.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why they're not pissed off. That's why they're not.
Because they're owned by AIPAC as well.
Making the same amount of money that the motherfuckers you're pissed off at are making the same. Everybody's making money except for the average fucking man. We are the ones that are paying the price for all of it.
That's
because
right.
we always pay the price for it.
Yep.
The poor don't pay the price for it because they don't have nothing that they can take from them. In a sense, the poor are actually freer than most motherfucking people.
In a sense.
Yeah, like fucking Mr. Wendell. Like Arrested Development said.
Yeah.
He's more freer than any of us.
That's right.
Could be. You know what I mean?
But it means a snack to me, but it means a big deal to you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
what,
you
be
got
kind,
those.
serve God only.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's
the thing. Like, all this stuff, like, there was such positive music in hip-hop in the early 90s.
Bruh.
And they ran it off.
Yeah.
And, like, that's CIA propaganda.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we can't have people that aren't filling our prisons. We're privatizing prisons. We got to fill them up, baby. We need prisoners.
And fucking that, all everything. And
because the mentality soaks into more than just the target audience.
Absolutely.
Everybody gets that shit.
Some kind of fucking
That's
way.
why things are so out of control these days. We're literally Clockwork Orange. Have you seen Clockwork?
Yeah, and those people.
Have you read Clockwork?
I haven't read it, but I've seen the movie.
I liked the book a little better, but they're both really good.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
The movie sort of politicized itself a little, I feel like, but maybe not. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Those of us that know what the fuck's happening and are navigating around what the fuck's happening and watching those that have no fucking clue what's happening, or they're just repeating what is said on something.
Propaganda parrots.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you can't. I know you can't be this blind, but you are, or you refuse to be, or what was the thing I was saying?
They refuse to engage in the reasoning for the thing they are saying.
Yeah.
And I say, like, okay, I don't necessarily disagree or agree with you, but I want you to explain why you're saying the thing you're saying, and that request makes people angry.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a real reason why they're saying what they're saying.
There's a young cat I see. He goes out here and he's talking to people, and he's like, hey, I just want to know, why do you feel this way? And then when they can't articulate it,
they get mad and walk away.
He tries to be like, well, hold on, let me just stop you real quick. You're saying this, and here's what the fact is this. I can show you this. Now, what you just said, you're saying it like this. Right? They're like, yes, okay. Can you explain why? Well, that's because this is what this says. Not exactly.
Yeah, it's often a because they say that.
Yeah, that's that.
It's really the reason that they say
and
that.
It's like, come on, man. Like, I know this is a real person, and I know this is really how they think, but then you look at it and you're like, there's a whole plethora of motherfuckers that absolutely think this way or move this type of way because of something that they say they said, or somebody saw that they said, they're going to agree with wholeheartedly without actually diving into some shit. You know what I mean? And that's all across the board on every fucking thing. When it comes to fucking politics, religion, race, sex, all that shit. Like, okay, just here recently, and this is how they do the okie doke on motherfuckers. Right? So Supreme Court said, what was it? Birthright citizenship is a fucking thing. Like that is actually a real thing.
The way the law is written,
okay, you know what I mean?
Citizenship
cool.
is a real thing.
Bet, no problem. Transgender men cannot compete in women's sports. All right, cool. Bet, makes fucking sense. Everybody, you have people celebrating the birthright, people upset about the transgender thing in sports, which doesn't make any sense.
And you know what they'll say? They'll say that it's a far right Supreme Court for the thing that they like,
Yeah.
And then when it's, because that's a 6-3 ruling.
Yeah.
And then when it's the thing that the other side doesn't like or whatever, and that's a 6-3 ruling, then like it's still a far right leaning, even though
when it's supposed to be bipartisan, they're not supposed to be on the side. They're not supposed to be this.
They're supposed to be doing by the law.
But
my point is that I don't think that they are right or left leaning. I think that some of the people that are on there are, but that it's working because there are a few that are willing to go one way or the other.
But here's the other thing.
What you need in all of them that you don't have, but that's why they need term limits.
Yeah, exactly.
So that they can be in for 20
but here's
and
the thing
out or whatever.
That people didn't pay attention to because they were so pissed off about the first two. You know what I mean? The third thing was they said there is no cap for any fucking political donations. There is no cap on that.
Yeah.
So anybody with the fucking pockets can influence
Well, it's because of the
any
Citizen United
race.
deal that they did during the Obama administration.
All this shit, but I'm like,
making it legal to propagandize
but the thing is,
citizens, and
people don't know about that because they were so pissed off about the other two.
Yeah.
This one, they just snuck right on
that's
by.
right. They slipped this stuff through.
It was
and
mentioned-
the news media is an arm of the
Oh,
government.
absolutely, because
Yeah.
they ain't said nothing about. They say everything about the other two, but that third one right there, because all three of these happened the same
Well, but that's
day.
because it's the same bird with two different
Exactly.
things, and
It's
you're
that-
just deluding yourself. Like
It's
I'm
that motherfucker
I'm
with
a
that
flea
dick.
on the right wing. Well, I'm
He's
a flea
telling
on the
you,
left wing.
I got this dick. It's going in you. Here it comes.
One bird.
Yep.
One bird.
One fucking dick going in you. Here it is. How you want it. I don't care what side, what way you take it.
It's
you
the
gonna take-
baseball bat theory.
Yeah.
We're going to put this baseball bat down your throat or up your ass,
Yep,
and you're going to
you
die.
gonna take it.
And you have to vote for which way you prefer.
You
Be
gonna
done.
take this dick,
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
Because we gonna fuck you.
Well, it's like people love to call people fascists, but they don't ever like to actually articulate what it is. And I looked it up, and part of the problem with it is that the way that it's described is as a far right. They say adherent of a far right. And if you take that out and you list all the other things that it is, both sides do this on a regular
Yeah.
basis. Authoritarian and ultra-nationalistic political ideology termed describes someone who believes centralized dictatorial government and violent suppression of opposition and subordination of individual rights for the perceived glory of the nation or race is the way they're describing it there. But if you remove that nationalist bullshit and the right bullshit, everything about that is, if you remove the
Yeah.
politically leaning definition,
And they do that with all of them.
and that's right, but like authoritarian, Biden and Trump,
Yeah.
both authoritarian. You got dictatorial government.
Yep.
Both those governments and all the previous governments
Yeah.
have been dictatorial. I've been against this shit forever. Violent suppression of opposition. What is Antifa if not violent suppression of opposition? Like the right, that's part of the scary thing about the right is they don't have like a clear, articulatable group that matches what Antifa is. There's no one you can point to and go, well, that's them. Because sometimes there's like CIA psyops where people put on masks and khaki pants and go get on the train or whatever
Yeah.
and ride together. But there's no group like there is with these Antifa motherfuckers.
Here's the thing, like even when you look at Marxism, it'll say that's a far leftist, it's a liberal
Right.
mindset, the socialism and all this
So
shit. da, da,
any
da.
part of that could be construed as being done by the right can say, well, we're not Marxists.
Yeah.
Because that's a left thing.
That's it. And see that.
Because when you call certain people fascists, the thing they say is, well, I'm not right-leaning.
Yeah.
And it's like, so everything else about that description you're admitting to, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's the real problem. That's why I try to identify on an issue and say, about this issue, I think this.
Yeah.
And like, I support
See,
this right
honestly,
or that right.
government should be simplified. There's no
It
reason
should
to
be
make
less and less.
there's no reason to make shit complicated. When a bill is passed or when a bill is submitted, it should be just about what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, no
nothing
piggybacks.
nothing extra in there. If we're talking about straight infrastructure, that's all that's in there.
Right.
I don't need to have anything about healthcare in there. That's another whole fucking bill.
Exactly.
We're
And that's
talking
all
about,
that is.
That's all that is.
That bill is just about healthcare.
That's it.
And this is just about infrastructure.
That's it. If we got schools, education, that's all it's going to be about education programs.
That's right.
That's all we need to focus on right here. We're not throwing something extra in this bitch.
And the more stuff that everybody tries to put into all these educational programs and things, the more bullshit. And most of it is teaching kids what to think and not
how to think. And that's the other part to the shit.
Because you got to push the reading.
I remember
and English comprehension.
So me and this lady, we were talking the other day, and she was like, Mike, I'm really learning a lot more stuff about, Black history and African American history and all this shit. I said, yeah. I said, I'm going through my process of learning all this shit too, because I already knew the shit they were teaching in school wasn't shit. They teach you about the quote good black people, the ones that were safe, not the ones that were actually, out here questioning authority type shit, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I told her, I said, it's
a lot of Martin Luther King, not much Malcolm X.
Exactly. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, even Huey P. and all them.
The Black Panthers. You don't hear much about
You don't hear that. Yeah. But they always say the Black Panthers are this violent group, and I'm like, no, they weren't. I knew they weren't because my dad took me around.
I believe they're a group that was capable of violence if need be.
If needed to.
But they were standing on street corners with shotguns trying to protect the neighborhood.
They were because the police weren't protecting the neighborhood. That's right. You know what I mean? The whole idea of the Panthers came was, okay, since you're not going to do your job as the police force or supposed to be the city, and we're going to take care of our own people. We're going to teach them, we're going to fucking feed them, we're going to make sure they have doctors and all the shit they need to have.
That's why they had to actually go and make them into criminals and make them into
they were doing
people that you couldn't admire.
And the crazy thing is that the government ended up still trying to do the same shit the Panthers did. You know what I'm saying? With fucking with welfare,
because it's a criminal monopoly.
Exactly.
They don't want you to have
your own shit.
That's right.
That's the whole fucking thing. Because they found out, okay, these cats are taking care of fucking people. There was a 10-point program that the Panthers had. They had a fucking, you couldn't even be a Panther unless you had read certain these books on the list. They have a reading list for you to read, to know these books and study these books to understand before you could even be a part of the Panthers. You know what I mean? Back in the day, that's how they operated. But then you have this little group of motherfuckers that get in there and they fuck some shit up.
Right.
Everything has that. Religion has that. All these have.
Well, that's why it's hard to judge any specific group of people based on just their worst people, their worst representatives. Like, if you could only pick one representative out of every race, color, creed, sexual orientation, or whatever, and it was always the worst of those people.
Yeah.
Like, no one would think that group of people was worth the shit at all.
But it's also what you're shown. Like,
that's right.
So I was talking to her, I'm like, I'm deep diving my own shit because I know shit wasn't shown to me the correct way. And I have learned not to fall susceptible to the bullshit that's out here. And I've learned that at a very young age. You know what I mean? Because I was always, I don't want to say rebellious against shit, but when, like I told you before, if it didn't make sense, it just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? And I had to find out, why do you think it makes sense? Yeah. And if you can't articulate to me or explain it to me, then okay, I'm right about my decision that this doesn't make sense.
Well, you haven't. I might not even be right, but you haven't.
But you haven't convinced me that I'm wrong.
Your position,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the difference. That's why people like us would get kicked out of classes.
Oh, that's what I was trying to tell about the lady. I said, look, I wasn't a problem child. You know what I mean? That just wasn't me, But I questioned every fucking thing. I had a couple teachers that could not stand that. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I'm asking you a question and we're going back and forth in like a debate, but you're getting mad. Like you're getting heated with me.
See, and I used to make them mad because I would ask the questions and they'd either be mad at the questions or they'd be mad at my response to their response.
Exactly. That's it.
My response to their response would make the class laugh.
Yeah.
And then I'm gone. Get out of class.
See, my joint, I only got kicked out of class for stupid shit. Like once I would shut a teacher down, it was most likely they would just like ignore my I got a question. We're going on the next
I got
subject.
kicked out of English class in my senior year for saying penis a bunch. The teacher was like, I don't remember why I said it, but I said it about something, and the teacher was like, don't say that. And I was like, what? And she said, that word. And I said, oh, penis? And she said, yeah, you can't say that. And I was like, why? I'm just saying penis. It's like the legitimate word for penis. It's not like I'm saying some other word for penis. I'm saying penis in reference to penis. And it's not like the D word.
You were pushing the buttons.
Oh, bro, I was just... Don't give me the opportunity or I'm going to hit them all, bro.
See, my joint, it was more, for me, it was more like, I'll never forget, I got kicked out of algebra. The teacher had this form, no, wasn't algebra. Yeah, or was that geometry? It was geometry.
It don't matter. Some form of mathematics.
They had the A squared, B squared equals C squared type shit, right? And she had this bonus problem. She said, can you figure out a formula for this 3D object? And I was like, well, my mind was like, well, this formula here is for a two-dimensional project. If I add one more element, that gives me my 3D joint, so it should be A squared, B squared plus C squared should give me the D squared, which should be the three-dimensional joint. Let me try it out. Did the math, turned it in, come back the next day, I get my paperwork. She says it's wrong. But then the answer's on the board, and it's the exact answer I have on my paper. And I'm like, hey, excuse me, real quick, quick question. You're saying that my answer's wrong, but what you have up there is the exact same answer I have here. She said, yeah, you got the right answer, but you didn't do the problem the correct way. I said, wait a minute, you told us to come up with some way to get that answer. I just showed you how I got it.
Yeah.
And it's right. She goes, no, that's not right. I'm like, yes, it is. It worked. She's like, no, it did not work. I said, bitch, okay. I said, I erased the shit. I drew a fucking whole nother thing up there. I put the fucking numbers in. I said, now we're going to try this out. We're going to work together, right? You going to just follow me on this real quick. I plug it in. I do the math in front of the class. I'm on the fucking...
You're on the blackboard.
No, it was the
dry erase board.
No, what's that thing? The projector joint? Yeah, that. So I'm on that motherfucker and I'm doing it.
Yeah, the dry erase projector.
Look, I do the joint. I get my answer, right? I said, that's my answer. I said, show me how you would do this. And she's doing it, and it's just forever. But it comes up with the same answer. I said, so how the fuck am I wrong?
Because you didn't show your work, or the work you did didn't look like the work it was supposed to be that was supposed to be on there.
That she thought in her mind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not wrong. I just found a quicker way to do the same thing you did.
But she's going to say that whatever method you did there will not work on other problems.
That's what she said. So I said, okay, cool, no problem.
Give me another problem.
So I did a whole nother joint. Different shape.
Hit it with the same mentality?
Yep, hit different shape.
Said, all right, now show me what you do.
And it worked again. And she's
You're like Pythagoras, Michael.
And so now she's getting pissed off because the class is like, they're all like, wait a minute, he should get the extra credit because he's right. Like, we understand we got it wrong because we didn't even try. But he did it, and you're saying he can't get that extra credit. That's fucked up. You're wrong. And so now the kids in the class,
yeah, then you gotta go.
They're backing me, and she's getting pissed. She's like, you need to leave. I'm like,
yep.
For what?
Told you. Yep.
What did I do? Explain to me what I
we
did.
We prom in the same class, boy. I tell you what,
bro. What?
Shit.
History class was the only time that I was able to speak out and fucking. I didn't get in trouble for it because the history teacher was like, yes, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yes, I got along in history pretty well.
Yeah,
too.
they're like,
kicked out of
the
history
teacher told me, she goes, what you're doing right now, that is what you're supposed to be fucking doing. You're supposed to understand this history and you're supposed to question it. When you see something that's fucked up, question that shit. Because if it doesn't make sense and nobody can make it make sense, then it doesn't make sense.
That's right.
And she's like, that's what you're supposed to fucking do. And I'm like, how come I fucking get kicked out of this class for doing the same shit? But here, I'm good.
Was your history teacher a man?
No, it was a lady.
Beautiful. And the math teacher, was she a man?
No, it was a woman. Fucking straight bitch, man.
We can't make it a sexist thing then.
Nah.
I was hoping for an angle to say something that Lisa would get upset about.
Even when I even when I'm fucking wanted to do, like, I wanted to do African American studies. That's what I was telling the lady the other day. I said I wanted to do African American studies, but the teacher did not make that shit interesting. He was so monotone, because I had him for history. He was so monotone and so drab, like, I cannot listen to you. It is difficult for me to follow instructions when you bring no life to this subject.
Yeah.
I need some kind of energy.
Interaction. I need to be engaged.
Help me be as interested as I know I want to be. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what good teachers do, and they're so few and far between.
And because they took it away from them.
They don't get the good money, and they're only teaching to the tests, right?
Yeah. They don't let the teachers do what they used to do.
It's like The Wire.
Yeah. They don't let them do what they used to fucking do. Back in the day, I remember my fucking first grade, my kindergarten teacher, my first grade teacher.
It all goes back to that teaching kids how to think and not teaching kids what to think.
I remember going in classrooms and actually having fun doing shit and learning the shit at the same time. Like, we were goofing off and doing things. Like, even in biology, we were cutting shit open and learning this and doing this and doing this. You know what I mean?
People don't care. Like, I remember literally I was in a history class and the teacher was like, we're going to watch this movie called Glory.
Yeah.
This is a really good movie. And it's about black history and the Civil War and all this stuff. And, you know, she put the movie on, and the movie was about probably 10 minutes longer than the class.
Yeah.
And she was like, anybody that wants to stay can stay and watch the movie, and I'll write you a note if you want. And I was the only person that stayed and watched the movie.
Yeah.
I finished Glory because it was a good movie.
Yeah.
And it was relevant to history.
But people are just going through the motions. They're like, all right, I gotta go to the next class. What I gotta do here just to get. It's just like you go to work, you just get through the motion at work.
They weren't paying attention.
Nah.
They weren't doing the work.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even work.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's a really good movie.
It's something that's
like,
relevant to what you're learning right now.
How am I not going to be engaged with this movie?
But see, people don't think like how we think sometimes.
That's right.
You know
they don't want to. Most people don't want to think.
Nah, they just want to be told what to do, and then they're gonna go do it, and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? I did what I was told, and now I'm good for the rest of the fucking day. I'm like, nah, man. There's more to that.
Bullshit.
There is more to fucking just being what you're told to fucking do.
Yeah.
Gotta question some things because that's how you get got in situations.
That's also how like we got kicked out of class all the time, and that's literally like it applies now. Like I'm always on the verge of like getting fired because I'm like, this does not work.
Bro, I've been fired so many fucking times because they say I'm a problem employee. Like, when I worked at that fucking warehouse, bro, I knew I was a problem employee because shit didn't make sense. But I got to the point where when we would be in meetings, I'm like, just stop asking me a question. Please don't ask me a question in this meeting. I'm going to sit over here. I'll be quiet. I'm just going to go to sleep. Wake me up when this shit is done.
Wake me up when it's time to put stuff on shelves.
And I'll fucking go do it. But don't ask me no shit. If I'm sleeping as me and you ask me a question, because I am listening, I'm going to tell you how stupid you sound. Like, and then I got this other job where I was like, all right, I'm not going to go off on people like I've been doing. I'm going to just sit back and I'm going to go at a different approach. I'm not even going to bother going off on people. And that backfired on me too, because I still got fired because I laughed at a motherfucker. Like, okay, I didn't cuss you out.
Yeah.
But I did laugh at your reaction to me. You know what I mean? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like I'm at a place where they sell used cars, and I deal with the people that recondition them, and I'm like, I would never buy one of these cars.
Yeah.
You know, like I see the half-assery, or even it's half the time it's like, you gonna really put this tire on this car?
Bruh, I worked at a place that was like that.
You know what I mean? So
this one dude, he was so shiesty.
I'm just like, don't ask me why I buy my own car and do my own thing with it.
Because like right now, where I'm at right now,
y'all are tripping.
The place I'm at right now is not giving me a headache. It's not bothering me per se, but I give it some time. It might eventually at some point have that effect to where I'm be like, fuck these motherfuckers. But right now, it seems all right, and I'm gonna see how it go. Because I mean, I got to stick through this anyway for a whole year just to make sure I get all my money. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we'll see what happens during this winter, and see how it goes during the winter, and what happens then, because that's when the serious shit starts going on, is the wintertime. Like summertime, it ain't really a lot, and I got hired on the back end of winter, so I got this experience some of the winter shit.
But you don't know.
But I don't know because I was just in training.
You don't know how bad it just might be.
Exactly. So we gonna see. Like I still have my the opinion is still out there. Like it's waiting to see how it's gonna go. Like it's to be determined right now, because summertime's here and it's flowing, no problem, but I haven't dealt with harsh ass winter, cold ass shit, on a regular every single fucking day of the week type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
And then being on call during those winter times, because that's when you really gonna get the phone calls late at night after you done got home and went to sleep for fucking an hour or some change after you've been out all day, and then you gotta go back out.
Yeah.
And you don't even know how far of a drive you gotta go to do some bullshit because somebody wasn't paying attention to their shit, or they actually have an actual real fucking leak, and you gotta try to fix the shit in the snow, in the fucking dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
man. You
don't know yet. So
yeah, man, you're making my job seem a lot better, bro. But you're making more money than me. You got
and that's the other part to it. It's like
is it worth it? Is the real question you're going to be in.
The guys, there's some old heads at the job, and it's funny because the old heads that are there, they fucking will sit there all fucking day. Like they try to get at least 10 every day, and I'm like, bro, why are you even sitting here? Just get your 8 and be good with it. You know what I'm saying? And they're like,
move product to move on.
Yeah, but these guys, they sit there because they're so used to the money that they see that they have to fucking...
They got to maintain that income.
Which, I'm like, I get where you're coming from, but if you work like a dog during the wintertime, why not take this summer to just take a break from the shit for a second? You know what I mean? But
go enjoy a nice sunny drive home.
Do you know something like that? Like, but these guys, they don't see it that way. Like my boss was like, yo, she even told me, she was like, you don't fuck around. She's like, you come in here, you get your shit done, and you're back. Like the guys have been noticing that you come back. Like you'll get your 8, but you're here, you get your shit, and you done. I'm like, that's because that's what I fucking do. I
transporter, bitch.
I don't want to be out here all fucking day. I have no desire to be out here all fucking day. Like I know some of these guys do. Like my homie, the one homie that I'm real cool with, the other dude that got fired, called and was like, yo, how's Mike doing? He was like, man, yo, that dude don't fuck around, man. Like he come in, he here before everybody else, and he's usually gone before everybody else get back. Mike comes in, does his shit, get his 8, he gone. I'm like, yeah, because I enjoy my life at home. I enjoy being at home with my wife. I enjoy being at home with my kids. I enjoy being at my house doing shit that I want to do for me. I don't want to give my time to a fucking company, to a motherfucker that's owned by a motherfucker that can give a shit less. You know what I'm saying? Like, all corporations preach, oh, we care about our employees.
That's some bullshit.
Exactly. And I know that.
Yep.
Now, if you don't want to believe that, that is on you.
Well, it's like I had to go see HR the other day because like I dropped my insurance because money ain't right, and I was like, so why do I get the same paycheck? And she was like, oh, it's going to be prorated on the next one because it started at the end of the month. There's only 4 days on it. Da da da.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's cool. I get that. That makes sense. That's fine. Whatever. Because I know I don't have insurance, so we got some new glasses made, and they were like, this insurance ain't nothing. And I was like, all right then.
Gotcha.
So swipity swipe and on with the day, and motherfucker, the girl goes, yeah, but they really care here. And I was like, okay. I said, I ain't got no reason to believe that.
You're saying what you have to say.
I'm glad that you think
yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
You know how many times I've had that conversation
like,
with HRs?
Between the equipment I'm using and the things, like, I mean, look I believe that they want to make money, but I don't believe that they have any idea just how detrimental the software they're forcing me to use the entire time I've been here is, because it is not productive. It's negative impact in a lot of ways. Where like I do something and I have to do it 4 times before I can get it to save properly.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't work right. Or I get an approval for something, I'm supposed to get 4 tires, but only 2 show up, and then I got to go and look, and there's another set here, or these 2 got to go with those. You know, like this software is supposed to interact with that software.
Yeah.
It only 50% of the time works right.
But
so
they don't want to fucking spend that money and go through the whole reprogramming or restructuring of their own system.
Well, it's supposedly coming around, but they've been saying that, so we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, with that said,
oh yeah,
we gotta bring this episode of shit to a close. We be getting serious when it's Mike and I, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we could actually have these conversations. I mean, we have them with the Jew, but
he ends up being like, there's some chicken in the fridge. I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go put the chicken in the oven. Hold on, I'll be back.
Right, fuck, I forgot I got this brisket going.
But yeah. Anyway, be nice to people that look like you. Be nice to people that don't look like you. Don't be a dick.
A little bit by little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Keep moving forward. Read a book too.
Yeah, for real.
Don't matter if it takes you forever to read. Just read.
Check
read
out the
something. Magazine,
Gulag
newspaper.
Archipelago after you're done with that communist Marxism bullshit.
Oh man, just read something. Just read something.
But don't forget, we love you very much.
Love y'all.
We wish you nothing but the best.
All day, every day.
And peace be with you.
Gone.